I'm about to flip the script on iOS 26.4. This isn't a dry dump of patch notes, it's me thinking out loud about what actually changes, why it matters, and what it reveals about Apple's strategy in 2026. So, let's dive in and I'll give you the real take, not just what's new, but what it means for you and the tech ecosystem. I'll start with the big picture hook. Apple isn't just tidying up bugs here. They're layering in accessibility, security, and creator-focused tools in a way that nudges both everyday users and power users toward deeper engagement with the platform. Personally, I think that signals a quiet pivot. Apple wants iOS to feel more complete on day-to-day tasks and more capable for people who build or customize their own flows. If you take a step back and think about it, that's exactly the kind of move that sustains ecosystem lock-in while broadening the audience for features developers can build on top of. Let's break down the core ideas, then I'll riff on each with my take, why it matters, and how I use it. Idea 1. Security patches that actually change baseline behavior. What's new? iOS 26.4 addresses dozens of vulnerabilities across the OS, including a Siri flaw that could leak data on a locked device, a Keychain issue that exposed stored credentials, and several WebKit and kernel-level fixes. Stolen device protection is now enabled by default, adding biometric checks for sensitive actions when you're away from your usual locations. Commentary and interpretation. This isn't just more patches. It's Apple signaling that security defaults matter more than opt-in nudges. When a feature like stolen device protection switches on by default, you shift user behavior at scale without requiring people to read a 20-point privacy guide. In my opinion, that's how you push the needle on real-world security. The breadth of fixes, from Siri to WebKit to kernel, suggests a systemic hardening approach, not a single bug fix. What many people don't realize is how exploitable edge cases in one component can cascade into systemic risk. By tightening multiple layers, Apple reduces the blast radius of potential attacks. For creators and developers, this is a reminder to test apps across updated OS versions, because even low-profile kernel changes can affect how apps manage memory or handle security contexts. From my perspective, this underlines why keeping a close eye on release notes and beta programs remains essential, even for seasoned teams. Broader trend: major platforms are treating security as a baseline feature, not a premium add-on. Default-on protection plus transparent communications is the new reputation play in user trust and platform resilience. Idea 2. Music and media enhancements that feel practical, not cosmetic. What's new? Apple Music gets a playlist playground that can generate a 25-song playlist from a text prompt, with follow-ups. There's a new Concerts Near You section via a Ticketmaster partnership, and offline song recognition continues to improve. Podcasts now support video podcasts. Commentary and interpretation. The playlist playground is more than a gimmick. It's a direct line from your intent, text prompt, to a curated listening session. In my view, it lowers the friction barrier to music discovery and reinforces the place of AI-assisted curation in daily life. What makes this interesting is how it nudges users toward deeper app usage without feeling invasive. The Concerts Near You feature is a small integration win that can significantly boost live event discovery. It showcases Apple's ability to weave partner ecosystems into native apps, which can become a formidable moat if it scales across markets. Video podcasts on iOS podcasts fill a gap many users felt was missing, aligning Apple with other platforms and inviting creators to experiment with format-rich content on Apple devices. This is a soft push toward more engaging, multi-format content consumption on the iPhone. Broader trend: media apps are becoming multi-tool hubs. The user's device is less about one app, one function, and more about a connected media experience that feels smart, personal, and convenient. Idea 3. Creator tooling and user-facing quality of life upgrades. What's new? Freeform gains a creator studio for subscribers, offering higher-end graphics resources. Reminders, ads, and urgent section. Health gains a new average bedtime metric and a vitals graph for blood oxygen. Accessibility gains new options to reduce bright flashes and smoother animations. The camera adds audio zoom. Shortcuts gains a set charge limit action. Commentary and interpretation. The Creator Studio within Freeform is a notable nod to professional or semi-professional creators who still rely on consumer devices. It's about lowering the barrier to producing polished visuals directly from your iPhone or iPad. What makes this interesting is how it merges content creation with collaboration tools in a single ecosystem, making devices feel more like a creative suite than a mere gadget. The health and accessibility tweaks aren't flashy, but they are essential for broader inclusivity and daily usability. The average person often underestimates how small tweaks to sleep metrics or visual comfort can improve day-to-day quality of life. From my perspective, these are the kinds of details that accumulate into meaningful user loyalty over years. Audio zoom in camera and a new shortcuts action show Apple leaning into smarter automation without overwhelming users. It's the kind of feature that rewards curious exploration. If you're willing to poke around settings and automations, you can craft more immersive, hands-free experiences. Bigger implication: Apple is layering professional-ready tools into the consumer base, hinting at a future where iOS is a more complete creative and daily work platform. It also raises questions about data privacy in more deeply integrated workflows. Idea 4. Accessibility and usability nudges that change everyday interactions. What's new? Reduce bright effects and improve reduce motion for more comfortable UI experiences, plus more reliable keystroke handling in fast typing. These may seem minor, but they change how long you can comfortably spend on your device. Commentary and interpretation. Accessibility features like reduced bright effects aren't just for people with sensitivity issues. They reduce cognitive load and eye strain for everyone, which can affect productivity and device satisfaction. In my opinion, this is one of those features that quietly improves your operating experience without you noticing until you try a device without it. The reliability fix for fast typing addresses a frustrating but real user problem. Dropped characters can derail a workflow, especially for writers, coders, or students. Fixing that bug can feel transformative for throttle-limited or heavy typists. Connecting this to bigger trends, accessibility and UX polish are a core differentiator in saturated smartphone markets. When a platform makes the daily feel effortless, it builds durable brand preference, even when rival features are superficially similar. Idea 5. CarPlay, AI assistance, and hands-free interaction evolution. What's new? CarPlay gains hands-free access to AI assistants like Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT without requiring a wake word to activate. This is a shift toward more natural, voice-first interactions while driving. Commentary and interpretation. This move represents the broader fusion of in-car experiences with AI copilots. If you're someone who uses CarPlay to manage tasks, emails, or quick lookups on the road, this can cut friction and keep your focus safe. The absence of a wake word lowers the barrier to engagement, which could lead to more frequent, productive interactions. It also foreshadows how car environments will evolve into larger, more interactive ecosystems where your vehicle becomes a hub for AI-assisted workflows, navigation, and media, all controlled by voice and context. Broader trend: the line between mobile, desktop, and car experiences is blurring. Apple seems intent on keeping you in its ecosystem wherever you go, which has huge implications for app developers, accessory makers, and even UX design standards. Idea 6. Miscellaneous quality of life and developer-friendly additions. What's new? A set charge limit action in shortcuts, and a long-standing keyboard bug fix for fast typing. Commentary and interpretation. Shortcuts gain more practical capabilities, reinforcing the message that automation can be accessible and useful to everyday users, not just power users. A small action like setting a charge limit can influence how people manage device longevity and battery health in real life. The keyboard fix is the sort of behind-the-scenes reliability improvement that makes the system feel mature. It reduces annoyance and keeps flow intact when you're typing quickly, crucial for professionals, students, and content creators. These tweaks embody a philosophy: the best software improvements often come from small, consistent quality of life wins that compound over time. That's how you maintain a credible, long-term user experience in a competitive space. Deeper insight: what iOS 26.4 signals about Apple's strategy. The blend of security defaults, creator-focused tools, accessibility improvements, and hands-free AI interactions points to Apple's ambition to be the platform where work, media, and daily life converge. It's not just about new features, it's about building a more integrated, trustworthy, and user-friendly ecosystem that reduces friction at every touchpoint. If you zoom out, you can see a trend: platforms that shade robust security by default, that empower creators with accessible, high-quality tools, and that normalize AI-enabled interactions stand a better chance of maintaining loyalty as tech options proliferate. This isn't about a single feature, it's about a holistic experience. A potential caveat to watch: as capabilities expand, privacy and data governance will be under heavier scrutiny. The more powerful the features, like hands-free AI in CarPlay and offline song recognition, the more attention needed on how data is processed, stored, and shared. Closing thought. What this really suggests is that Apple is actively constructing a more resilient, more capable, and more user-centric ecosystem. It's not just maintenance, it's a reaffirmation of what the platform promises: security you can feel, tools you actually want to use, and experiences that feel tailor-made for a connected life. If you're an everyday user, a creator, or someone who cares about reliability, iOS 26.4 offers tangible improvements that, over weeks and months, compound into noticeable differences. Before we wrap, I'd love your take. Which of these changes do you expect to impact your daily workflow the most? Do you think default on security will push more users to stay with Apple, or will rival platforms catch up by matching or surpassing these defaults? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me what feature you're most excited to test after you update. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe for more creator-focused commentary, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.